Once upon a time, in a far, far away land, there lived a group of people called Palestinians. Palestine had been there for thousands of years, eons. They lived as a peaceful people. They were happy. They worked with the earth. They were farmers. They were fishermen. Palestine is by the sea, so they took advantage of working with the environment around them to feed their families, to nurture their life. These people were a peaceful people and have been there again for thousands of years. One day, in 1948, the British Army took control of the upper part of Palestine. Coupled with the Jewish people, they infiltrated and sectioned off part of the country and took it for themselves. When they invaded, they took it by force. They killed thousands of people, thousands of women and children. And for the past 70 years, those people have been bound in chains, barely able to live, barely able to survive. A few months ago, Israel, the occupation that is stolen the land from the people, began firing rockets and bombs at the city, targeting a fake group of what they call terrorists, when really it's just them. It's just Israel and the United States. They began bombing hospitals, schools, aid workers. Thousands of people have died. Men, women, children. The Palestinians do not have an army. They do not have weapons. This is Israel that is backed by the full force and might of the United States government. And this is the Palestinian people. It is a true story of David and Goliath. While the bombings have been taking place, Israel and the United States work hand in hand, side by side as one. While people are dying, the Israelites are celebrating their death, celebrating the death of women, children, decapitated babies. They have videos on a site on Telegram called 72 Virgins, and they are posting snuff films of women and children being raped and murdered, babies being cut out of women. Recently, the Palestinians were forced to flee from Gaza into Rafah, walking, carrying only their belongings and the children. They cannot go into the sea. There are boats off the shore that would kill them. They can't go into Egypt because Egypt has a wall, and Egypt is keeping them from entering. They are trapped. Every day that goes by, Israel is shooting and killing innocent men, women, and children to steal the rest of their land. They are wiping out an entire group of people. These are not just people. These are our brothers. These are our sisters. They are calling to humanity They stand on the shores. Most of them have accepted that they will die there. They are looking for help. Any way that you can help them. Starting a protest, joining one of the many protests, boycotting these government corporations, boycotting all the Israeli corporations. They have taken prisoners, old men and women, men and boys, and they are beating them in their torture camps. They have death camps, thousands of people that they have tied up like dogs. Israel wants to point the finger at everyone else so that you don't see what's actually going on. It's a shell game. I have the videos of the bombs that they dropped in Rafah, of children decapitated, men, women burnt to a crisp. If these were your children, what would you do? How would you feel? How far would you go to protect the ones that you love? We are not Americans. We are not French. We are not German. We are not Canadians. We are not Egyptians. We are human beings. The governments of the world has pulled a wool over our eyes to keep us from seeing each other as ourselves. These are our brothers and sisters. Children lay in the streets scattered like rag dolls. We are sounding the alarm. If you have a platform, speak on it. Tell people what's happening. If there are protests close to you, go to the protests. Go out and support the Palestinians in any way that you can. There never was a Hamas. There is no Hamas. They did the same thing they did to us on 9/11. It's just Israel pretending to be a terrorist organization so that they can genocide an entire group of people and get away with it. Every Israeli that is part of Israel supports this. They send their money in support of this. Every Israeli in the world needs to be held accountable for this, just as they've held every Palestinian child accountable. Israel is not just a small country off in the Middle East. They have infiltrated every aspect of America. They've infiltrated the government. They have bought and paid your representatives to swing the agendas their way. They control Hollywood. Every aspect of Hollywood is ran by Israel. Every aspect of your food, your money, they own the banks. Every aspect these group of people control. These are the areas where we hit them the hardest. Everyone in the world is watching what's happening in Palestine. Humanity, let this be the spark that unites us all under a single unified front against the corporations, against the governments of the world. We are more powerful together.
قلوبهم كما حرقوا أطفالنا اللهم ألهب أجسادهم نارا لا تبقي لهم ملجأ ولا دارا وزدهم عذابا وخسارا.
فرج عالم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم فرج عالم فرج عالم